Module 2, Section 2, Time and Temperature Control. Why is time and temperature control important? Time and temperature control are fundamental to ensuring the safety of foods during transport, storage, preparation, cooking, and serving. The main reason why time and temperature control is important is to minimize the growth and multiplication of bacteria in food. In the storage zone, at -18 degrees C, most bacteria will survive but not grow. At 4 degrees C, most bacteria will survive but not multiply quickly. In the danger zone, avoid storing food in between 4 degrees C and 60 degrees C as bacteria multiply rapidly. In the cooking zone, from 60 degrees C to 100 degrees C, bacteria die, but spores and toxins may survive. What types of temperature measuring devices can we use? There are different types of thermometer used in the food and catering industries. They have different applications. Infrared probe thermometers of the gun type are for surface temperatures. Hard probe digital and analog thermometers are for core temperatures. What are the pros and cons of each thermometer type? Infrared probe. Benefit of this type of thermometer is that it measures the surface temperature of the food. Downside is it cannot check the core cooking temperature. It can be hard to calibrate. Hard probe. Benefit of this type of thermometer is that it measures the core temperature of the food. Downside is it increases the risk of cross-contamination. It requires regular calibration to ensure it stays accurate. How do we look after a temperature probe? It is essential to take care of the probe used in a food production environment. This is achieved by proper and regular calibration, proper cleaning and disinfestation between use, proper storage and maintenance. All food businesses are required to obtain and use a probe thermometer, accurate to ±1 degrees C, to monitor the temperature of potentially hazardous foods. What is chilled storage? Chilled storage is the storage of perishable food items between 1 degree C and 5 degrees C. This is done in order to slow down the multiplication of bacteria. What is frozen food storage? Frozen food storage is an excellent way to minimize bacterial growth and extend the shelf life. Frozen foods should be stored at a minimum temperature of -18 degrees C. Ideally, foods should be wrapped or boxed when frozen to prevent contamination and freezer burn. What is food thawing? Freezing is an excellent way of preserving food, but it must be thawed correctly. Food must be thawed under controlled conditions, such as overnight in a temperature-controlled unit or environment. Using a calibrated thermometer, check to ensure that food is properly thawed to the core before cooking. What is cooking? Cooking or cookery is the science of using heat to prepare food for consumption. Ensure that you cook food thoroughly and that the core temperature reading is above 75 degrees C. The cooking of food at the above temperature reduces the bacteria to safe levels. Always check that food is cooked thoroughly. What is cooling? Cooling is the process of reducing the temperature of the food after cooking if it is not to be served immediately. This should be carried out under controlled conditions to avoid keeping the food in the danger zone over an extended period of time. The safe cooling time is currently 90 minutes. Blast chilling preferred procedure. Large items or batches of food can be cooled in a double tray ice bath after being divided into smaller volumes. It is important to monitor the cooling process using a calibrated thermometer and keep accurate monitoring records. What is food reheating, regenerating? Sometimes it is necessary to regenerate food. Reheat food to a minimum temperature of 75 degrees C. Liquid foods should be stirred thoroughly during the reheating process to ensure even temperatures throughout. Food should only be reheated once. It's important to monitor the reheating process using a calibrated thermometer and to keep accurate monitoring records. What is hot holding? It is very important to keep hot food hot until serving to prevent harmful bacteria from growing. We should hold hot foods at or above 63 degrees C for a maximum of 2 hours. Food held for more than 2 hours should be disposed of. It is important to monitor the hot holding process using a calibrated thermometer and keep accurate monitoring records.